imagine, if you will, you have your rental property on the market listed at the price your property manager recommended. You made routine repairs as advised in order to get your property ready for the market, but it's still vacant for longer than you expected. Your property manager, who you like and trust, is now telling you to reduce the price. You're not totally against reducing the price, but you can't help wonder if there's something else you can do to get that vacancy filled besides reducing the price. Maybe there is. I'll explain. First of all, there's nothing more important than price and condition when you're trying to fill a vacancy. We have other blogs covering the basics of renting a home, attracting long-term tenants, and even one that addresses why your home may not be rented. Here, we're gonna look at a couple extra things you can do to reduce that vacancy time. Embrace pets. Not being open to pets or being too restrictive about pets greatly reduces the number of potential applicants. According to the Humane Society, 72% of renters have a pet. Even if you don't allow pets, there's still a chance you'll end up with tenants who have emotional support or service animals. Sure, there may be valid reasons for not wanting pets. Just saying, you may be paying a price with less demand and longer vacancy times. Plus, there may be new laws saying you have to take pets. So you might as well consider leaning into accepting pets and advertise as pet-friendly. Advertise Section 8. You're not allowed to turn down a prospective tenant in California just because they're on Section 8. To do so is considered discrimination based on source of income. Of course, there's pros and cons to renting to someone on Section 8. We've now started to see more rental property owners embrace the benefits. If you have a property that's likely to be a good fit for Section 8, then you might as well load it on the Section 8 website and cut down on the vacancy time. Consider free rent. We've all seen the signs that say 1 month free rent. This practice is more common at larger apartment communities. If you look at the details, they often amortize it for over the year. If this is something you're considering, you could also just reduce the rent by a couple $100 per month and advertise the lower rent. Either way, it's something to consider in order to get that vacancy filled. Offer early possession. If the start date was for the first of the month, you could offer it early to tenants who commit with full payment of deposit and the first month's rent. Do this as an incentive for getting everything signed and paid so they're able to move in a week or two early. This little incentive may help you close the deal and get your money sooner. This can also help your tenant potentially close a housing gap or at least make the move a little less stressful. Offer a lower security deposit. This may be the most practical of all move-in specials. Reducing the security deposit from 1 month's rent to $1,000 or even $500 can really make your property attractive to prospective tenants, especially if you consider that most tenants have to wait for their old landlord to return their last deposit. If you think about it, a security deposit is really the tenant's money held in trust for the tenant, so you're really not giving up much. Try long-term discounts. Offering a discount to tenants who agree to terms longer than a year can be a win-win deal. Landlords can benefit by filling a vacancy sooner and knowing they will not have to fill it again in just 1 year. Tenants benefit from a little better deal and are able to lock that rate in for longer. Both parties benefit. These methods have been used for years and are not new to people who've been in business throughout different economic cycles. However, they are merely little hacks to help you close the gap and get a vacancy filled. These attempts usually involve making something a little more appealing to prospective tenants without much, if any, economic cost to the rental property owners. These tips and tricks don't change the fundamentals and are in no way shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. If you're looking for a shortcut, the person you will end up cheating will be yourself. Stick to the basics and remember there's nothing more important than price and condition. After that, you will want to make sure your property is properly advertised. Then you will want to make sure that prospects are promptly and professionally responded to. Once those basics are covered, then you can look into the tips and tricks we just discussed. If you've been trying this yourself, you may want to engage the services of a property management professional. That way, you can benefit from their advice and expertise. We also find that most tenants prefer to deal with professional property management companies. Bottom line, sometimes you can be doing all the right things but still be having some trouble filling a stubborn vacancy. If you find yourself in that situation, there are a few tips and tricks you can try to get that stubborn vacancy filled, which include embrace pets, advertise Section 8, consider free rent, offer early possession, offer lower security deposit, and try long-term discounts. These old school hacks are just ways to help you nudge prospective tenants over the edge. You still need to stick to the basics, including proper pricing, condition, advertising, and good service. Of course, a professional property management company can guide you through. For real estate advice, you're looking for a reliable property management company to help you handle a rental property, or a real estate broker to guide you through the sales process in Long Beach, Los Angeles, or Orange County, California, or you're just considering it and have a few questions about real estate, contact the Mike Dunfee Group today. We're happy to help.